Hey everyone, peace be upon you all and welcome back to my channel. First off, I want to say that there will be a skin update for you guys coming up really soon, so please be patient with me. There will be one coming like ASAP. I will explain to you guys what has been going on with my face and why I'm breaking out so badly, and yeah, just stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, go ahead and enjoy this video. So today I am doing a review slash foundation routine using the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation. There has been so much hype around this foundation and it's known to be a really full coverage foundation, so I'm really excited to be able to review it for you all and to tell you guys my opinion of it. This is the packaging for the box of the foundation. Very Kat Von D-esque, obviously. This is her foundation. So this is the bottle that it comes in, and it's a very like airtight bottle. It has a pump, which is very useful. I definitely love foundations with pumps over ones without pumps. It has really sleek packaging, which I really like, and that's definitely a plus. So as you can see, I have finished my bottle and this lasted me about 4 months. I purchased this at the end of July and I ended up finishing it at the end of November, which I think is really good for a foundation. And you do only get 1 ounce of product, and I used it every single time that I went out in public. So that's a lot of uses. I don't even know how many times that I used this, but it's a lot. 1.5 pumps of this covered my entire face and allowed me to have the coverage that I wanted. So this foundation retails for $34 at Sephora, and it is a Sephora exclusive along with all of the other Kat Von D products and her entire line. This foundation offers a wide range of shades and colors for a ton of different skin tones. My shade is medium 52. I do have to say that for the majority of the foundations, they are very like orangey yellowish, and there are some that have pinkish undertones, and I think there's only one that has a neutral undertone, but I could be wrong. So when I first got this, I was kind of iffy because I felt like I couldn't find one that matched my skin. My face is very white compared to my neck, and my neck is like the most tan part of my body, basically. I had a hard time. I went back and forth to the store and like tried to get matched and see if like, you know, somebody else could match me differently or whatever, but I ended up sticking with the medium 52. I was contemplating getting the light 48, but that has just a very neutral undertone, and that didn't look natural on me apparently. The claims of this foundation are that it is full coverage, it has 24-hour wear, it's transfer resistant, it has a matte finish, it's fragrance free, it's oil free, and it's for all skin types. Now the first part, the full coverage part, is definitely full coverage. It has a lot of pigmentation in it. Since I did finish my bottle of this foundation, I didn't repurchase it because I wanted to try something else, but I went back and got a sample so I could do this video for you. But as you can see, it's very thick. It doesn't move very easily. It says that it is 24-hour wear. I just feel like it just depends on your lifestyle and like what you do. I don't know if anybody would wear this for 24 hours really, but personally I do not think that it would look as good if I like wore it for like even 12 hours. So I do think it can be long lasting, but just depending on what you're doing and what atmosphere that you are in. One thing that I have to add is that whenever it came to me working, I used to work at a retail clothing store. After about 3 or 4 hours of work, I would look in the mirror and I would see how the foundation began to kind of separate on my skin, like on my chin area and like my T-zone area basically. So be aware of that. That might happen to you. The transfer resistant part, I feel like almost nothing is transfer resistant. So this all just depends on you and your opinion of it, but I personally don't think that it's transfer resistant. It says that it has a matte finish, and I do agree that it does, especially once you set it, like it's just extreme matte, which I prefer. But I do feel like over time it can get a little shiny. It does kind of turn into a satin finish. As far as it being fragrance free, I do believe that, because if you smell the foundation, it has some kind of smell to it that I can't really explain, but it's definitely not like a perfume or anything like that. I definitely think that it is oil free. My face is pretty matte, and I can notice when foundations have oil because it just makes me look like a grease ball. So as far as it being for all skin types, I'm not for sure if people with like super dry skin would like this foundation, because I do feel like it does cling to those dry patches and accentuate them a lot. The coverage is great for people with acne prone skin. I have done tons of research on this foundation before I bought it. I watched tons of videos. People that have really acne prone skin have used it. People that have like really great skin have used it. I think if you don't have acne prone skin, like this foundation would look absolutely flawless on you. And if I had clear skin, then I would only wear this foundation at nighttime, I would say, if I'm going for like a super glam, like full coverage look. But since I don't have clear skin and my skin is not perfect by any means, I did use this foundation as an everyday foundation, and I know many people that have really acne prone skin use this as an everyday foundation. It has really good coverage and it hides a lot of those acne scars. If you do want to try this foundation out, I do recommend that you go to Sephora and get a couple samples of different shades on you, because the lighting in Sephora is not like natural lighting. So get some samples and try it out for yourself and see what looks best on you. The Sephora employee that gave me this sample was so generous, and like I've used this about 2 times and she filled it up to the top, and I'm just telling you, like, this is such a good foundation. A little goes a long way. I could get like 4 to 5 or even more uses out of this sample alone. So for this foundation I use a flat top kabuki brush, and this is from Crown Brushes, I believe. This is very similar to the Sigma F80 brush, and you can get tons of brushes like this from like anywhere. Yeah, it's a really staple brush. I think it makes this foundation come on flawlessly, and I seriously love it so much. I have tried using this e.l.f. Like small stipple brush for this foundation, but it does not do the same. It does not work that well for me. I feel like this brush kind of shears it out a lot more, and this brush really gives me the coverage that I really want. So just play around with it, use whatever you'd like to use a sponge if you'd like that, and I think a sponge gives much more of a natural look. So just do whatever works for you and for your skin type. I do think that it's very important to wear a moisturizer before you put on the foundation, because it just glides on a lot more smoothly. I also think that it is very important for you to use a primer with the foundation, because it does sink into those pores and all of that. I obviously have very acne prone skin, and I have a bunch of scars that are not only pigmented but they're pitted and all of that stuff, so you can actually see, like, you know, some cratered scarring. But to help with that just a little bit, and just to kind of help my pores out, I do use the Benefit Professional, and this is like the sample size, the baby size. I did get this whenever I got the foundation, and this lasted me the entire time that I had the foundation. So 4 months of this small thing, and there is still some in it. I personally now don't really use a primer with the foundation I'm using now, which is the CoverGirl 3-in-1 foundation, which I do have a foundation routine using that one, which I'll link down below. Overall, I really do recommend this foundation, especially if you have acne prone skin and pigmented scarring and stuff. At one point I did like actually use the concealer all over my face and then put a foundation over it, and I can't even imagine how unhealthy that was for my skin. But with this foundation, I'm able to completely just skip the concealer step, and there is zero concealer on my face right now. Like, I even use this foundation kind of like as a concealer for around my eyes. Overall, I think that this foundation is really good for the price and for how long that it lasts for you, and for the coverage. The coverage is absolutely amazing. The cons definitely do not outweigh the pros of this foundation. A while ago, I did start to film a video using this foundation. It was actually a sample of a different shade that is completely not my shade whatsoever. And I began to film it, and like the very beginning, I just could not continue. So here it is for you guys to see. To the foundation routine. So just like I did in my last foundation routine video, which will be linked down below, I'm going to go ahead and put on some Grease Lightning by Lush. And the reason why I do this is because I like to form a barrier between my skin and the foundation. When that is dry, I come in with some Cetaphil lotion to moisturize. Now I'm going in with the foundation, and I just like to dot it around my skin in certain areas. I usually need about a pump and a half to cover my entire face and to get the coverage that I would like. So I start off by just kind of patting or stippling the foundation all over, and I include a blending technique because I like to make sure that all of my face is covered and that there are no harsh lines. So as you can see, a lot of the acne and the scarring is still peeking through, so I go back in with more foundation on the areas that I want to conceal even more. Make sure that everything is blended out well and everything is one color. I'm going to go ahead and put some on my neck just to blend it all out. So this is the most that I will do with this foundation. I feel like it gives a really good coverage. I have pretty much covered all of the scarring. Obviously the acne is inevitable, you kind of can't fully hide that. I do set this foundation because I just feel like I have to set my face. I do notice that throughout the day, if you don't set it, then you will begin to get oily, or at least I do. If you have dry skin, then you probably don't have to set this, or you'd even probably want to create a dewy look with this foundation if you'd like. So I just take this Airspun powder, and that is what I use to set my face. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already.